Make sure my microphone is good, a good distance away. The video should be started by now, I believe. So, hello everybody. CG Nate here. Today we're not going to be playing a game. Actually, we're going to be I want to be talking about one of my favorite games, as well as reading some reviews for the game, because I'm sure you can read a lot of the stuff and tell what game this is about. The game is 7 Days to Die. This game has got to be, I'd say, one of my favorite games. I wouldn't say my favorite game. You know, it's hard to decide a favorite game. And I'm a really small YouTuber to be doing stuff like this, you know, talking about my favorite game as well as looking at reviews for it. Nevertheless, I don't think anybody's even going to see it anyway. But, hey, you know, that's what I want, you know. I told in my description of my channel, I'm a casual gamer. So, I guess I should market it as like just a casual YouTube channel as a whole. I just want to be casual. I don't want to have to like be always serious, I just want to have fun as well as get to talk to my audience, even if we never grow that big, you know? So, but anyway, we're getting off topic here. I want to do a review. I want to talk about my favorite game. I also want to talk about the controversy that a lot of people talk about. This game's going to be coming out on full release soon. I wish I could have told you guys about whenever it was at a discount, because there was a little bit ago it was still at discount. But for now, you can still buy it at, well, actually, maybe not. Maybe by the time, because, well, there is a couple days left. So by the time this goes out, you should still have some time to buy it at early access price. But the price is going to be going up sometime in June. I don't know if it's the first day of June, or, because they haven't given a specific date, but sometime in June. This is also going to be coming out on console on July. Oh my God, I cannot wait for that. I am so excited to get to play with some of my friends with this game. We have been waiting so long. But I want to talk about the game. I want to talk about reviews. I want to talk about a lot of the negative reviews I see about this game, because it's honestly more annoying to see a lot of this than see good stuff about it, because it deserves a lot of good reputation. I mean, the game's been worked on for 13 years? 11 to 13 years. I'm not exactly sure the exact time. I have played it for a couple years now. I can't say I've played it since the beginning or anything, but I can say I've played the Xbox version. Like, the Xbox, if people are wondering, I'll get into that whole, there's a story about why the Xbox version and the one that's coming out on console, and basically there's a version on console right now that's a really old version. Like God, it is so old. I don't know exactly when, but pretty dang old. So we'll talk. We have a lot to talk about, but anyway, make things shorter. We're doing a video. This is This is probably one of, if not my favorite game. It's hard to say a favorite game though, you know, because there's so many different games, right? You got first-person shooter games. You got survival games. You got just hunting games as a general. Racing games, and then you got games that are just all of it together, you know? So it's hard to say a favorite game, but when it comes to like the survival genre, or especially in the zombie genre, 7 Days to Die has got to be my favorite. And honestly, I do mean that. Like, this has got to be my favorite survival game. So let's get into it. Let's just read some reviews, and once we get to the first negative review, I'll start talking about it and talking about things that are kind of dumb that a lot of people say whenever I see people talk crap about the game. I might get a lot of hate for this. I don't know. I might not even get any views. I don't care. I just want to have fun. I want to talk to people. Maybe some people will agree with me. Some people will hate with me. I don't know. Write down in the comments if there is anybody who's going to even watch this video. So let's get into it. I can tell you about the flaws of this game, but that's not why I'm leaving this review. I'm leaving this review because I have played the game for years and I am still having fun. That shouldn't be possible. So despite its flaws, 7 Days to Die scratches an itch no other current title can scratch. Pretty good. Paid $7 for 11 years of the dev's life. Worth. Man, did not take long to get to a negative review. But anyway, I guess this is we can start talking about that keeps the video interesting. A lot of people talk crap about this game. I see it a lot whenever I watch videos about 7 Days to Die. A lot of people talk bad about it, and it annoys me. But let's just do this one review and see what they're talking about. I've played the game on and off for the past 10 years. Alright. 89.5 hours on record, but maybe he plays console edition as well. I don't know. And maybe he's lost his count. I mean, 10 years is a long time. So, benefit of the doubt. I'm not trying to be an a-hole. So every time, without fail, developers have made the game worse. So one of the big things I see a lot is that people say the old version was better than the new version, and we can talk about that. But let's just, like I said, try to stay on topic. I have a really bad problem of not staying on topic. So don't be fooled. This is not the survival crafting game that is marketed people. This is a looter shooter. Okay, so this isn't a survival crafting game. As someone who has like probably 200, maybe even 300 hours in this game, and that's not including console edition, that is a generic lie. This game is a survival game. Because let's just, what defines a survival game, right? Having a hunger and a water system, needing to eat. Well, wait, that's hunger and water system. I'm an idiot sometimes. I'm sorry. I'm not an idiot sometimes. It's probably an understatement. But hunger, water system, health system, stamina system, I guess, maybe. Something that 7 Days to Die all has. What else would there be? Like hunting? This game has that. An enemy? It's a zombie game. You can gather who the enemy is, I hope. Don't kiss zombies. Don't be weird. Anyway, so I don't know what he means by this is not... So maybe he just means like it's marketed in a way, but in a way that makes it seem more torn towards that than not, but I haven't seen anything to give that impression, but okay. Slash crafting game. That's also a bold-faced lie. This game is a very big crafting game. This is very much a crafting game. But yet again, maybe it's just a thing of like it's marketed to be more like that when it's not. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe he's saying the old version is better for blah 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 reason. Maybe the crafting was better back then. But let's just keep reading. Let's keep reading. This is a looter shooter. You are correct. It also was a looter shooter 10 years ago. So hope you're not saying that this version's sucky, even though it has the same content that the older one have. We'll get into more content that has been removed and added, because I do know quite a little bit. You enter a building with a difficulty level. True. Kill the zombies. Get to the loot crate at the end, and hope you found better gear. Rinse and repeat. So, are you saying this is a good thing or a bad thing, though? Right? Also, whenever I do these, don't like go to these people and bother them. Not that I'm gonna get many reviews on this probably, but I'm not gonna. Don't bother people. Don't be that person. I hope you people are nice, because I want to be nice to you. So don't be nice. So don't be mean to others. Anyway, you enter the building. Yep, gear, rinse and repeat. That's also been the game forever. Yes, the buildings have been changed dramatically in the newer updates versus the old updates, but for the most part, that's been the game for a long time. That's just been the game, is you loot places. That's kind of how most survival games are, unless they're literally you're in a barren wasteland. But even then, even the forest had places that you looted to get better gear, technically. But still, they have continuously made the game less friendly to players that want to survive in a base. That is true. That's true. There is no denying. There is a crop system in the game that used to actually be liable. You could probably actually survive off of crops that you could grow in your base. But now it is horrendous. The crops that you grow, even cooked, don't offer too much nutrition unless it's like a really high-level meal, which you have to have a lot of magazines and skill points put into that specific thing to be good. And as well as the crop system, you have to craft crop plots. You have to craft plantable soil instead of just hoeing the ground. Yeah, that's annoying. It's really expensive. Really stupidly expensive. So, I agree. That is a true statement. My most recent playthrough, after clearing out the dungeons, I decided to set up my base there. I set up a campfire to cook, and my character needed water. I had settled right next to a stream, and went to collect some water so I could boil it and drink it. This is how the game always functioned. Yeah, that he's not wrong. I was confused why I couldn't do anything with the water. I couldn't collect it. I couldn't find any containers to put it in. Yep, the most recent update did remove glass jars. And that is extremely annoying. But you also have to understand where they're coming from. Like, that's the thing a lot of people don't get whenever they complain about things, is they don't look at the other side of it as well. 7 Days to Die is a survival game. But also, at the beginning, it is extremely difficult. So is every survival game. But also, by the even just midway, hunger and water was a non-problem in a survival game. You couldn't eat. You didn't even have to be to late game for hunger and water to just be not a problem. Like, because you could just collect so many jars of water that by the time that you could just by mid game, even maybe even before that, you could just have so many jars of water full of unpurified water, purify it all, and have thousands of water and never need water till you just decide to make a new world. If we're being honest, so you gotta understand that they had to find a way to nerf it. Now, do I think that removing the jars was the best way? Honestly, kind of. I can't disagree with it. It was the best solution for like, because think about it. What else could they have done? Made water just harder to get, because if you get a water jar or a jar of water, drinking the water gives you a jar. So the only way to make it harder to get jars would just be making water harder to obtain, which would then just make the game almost unbeatable, or even possible to get higher up in the game, because you're going to die of dehydration at the beginning so much. Most people would probably just rage quit. So that's off the table. Then you just have maybe make jars break after a couple of uses. That could have been a good one. I will say that could have been a good one, but would that have been better than the Dew Collector? Not really, because like he was saying, complaining about how if you want to survive in a base, you can't. The Dew Collector, if you get that, literally makes it possible to do such a thing. It automatically collects 3 water bottles, which, although yes, is not really enough to go a day, for the player to go a day, but it still makes it more optional to stay at your base, which is what he's complaining about in literally the same paragraph. Now, early game, yes, you really won't have one. So, true, kind of counteracts each other, but you still find enough water to get by. So, yeah, it's a tough situation that the Fun Pimps were in, because they still want their survival game to be difficult. Otherwise, if a survival game is too easy, it's not fun. As it turns out, developers decided to remove the ability to collect water, additionally removing containers for water as well. You now have to find water as loot in the dungeons. These dungeons that he's talking about are just houses. All the houses are dungeons because we'll get into that in a minute. Or you can buy it from a trader. There was something I was going to say. The other thing about the water, you can get this mod for your helmets that makes it to where any liquid you drink is automatically purified. So once you get that, that's the other thing. The Fun Pimps made it simultaneously harder to get water, but by mid-game you can still be just fine on water, because if you get the auto water purifier, it doesn't matter what you drink. You're always going to find a puddle to drink from. So the auto water purifier mod, what a mouthful, basically by mid-game, because you can usually get one if you're pretty lucky, you can get one like maybe even early game, but mostly mid-game. So then, yet again, water's not a problem. So it kind of counteracts each other, even though the water mod was added before that, I believe, but still. So, yeah, it's a bit weird. But anyway, they've done this with everything. You can loot skill books, you can loot weapons, you can have you have to loot crafting benches. You cannot do anything on your own without at least first looting it from one of the dungeons. Yep. Now, back to what you said at the beginning, they've made the game worse. So this is implying this is a new feature, which is not the case. Looting skill books has been the thing since at least Xbox update, and probably before. You used to have to find a skill book to craft a crossbow, which is still a thing. I don't think the smelter was a skill book, but I do believe the workbench was. Unless he's not talking about crafting magazines and actual unless he's not talking about like the schematics, and he's talking about actual skill books that increase your skill, like, because that was just an overall improvement. If he's talking about that, I liked that. A lot of people liked that, although yeah, a lot of people were hesitant at first. It actually was pretty good. It helps make the game longer without being total bullcrap. Do I think some of them are annoying, that you have to collect 100 just to cook? Yeah. Well, not just to cook, but just to cook higher level food? Yeah, that's annoying. It kind of takes away from the whole cooking aspect of the game, yet again. Because You know, nobody's gonna, in their right mind, is going to go out of their way just to collect 100 books just to cook good meals. I'd have better luck just finding them. So yeah, it does take away from that if that's what he's talking about, but still, it's not terrible. Honestly, I usually, whenever I play, increase the loot stage to 200%. Not because, or not loot stage, but the loot amount. Because then I get more magazines specifically, and I think that's better than just getting one magazine for a thing that I'm not even focusing in sometimes, you know? Might as well at least get 2 or 4, so that way it's at least somewhat useful. So, I usually increase the amount of stuff I get by doing 200% loot bonus. I don't know if it's loot bonus or loot increase, but whatever. But that doesn't increase the, like, the level of stuff you get. You don't get pipe pistols like day 1 just because you do that, but whatever. But I guess that's not what he's talking about. You have to loot weapons. Also, that was a thing. Used to, you had to loot the weapons parts, as well as loot a schematic, as well as craft a crafting bench. And even then, you don't even need the crafting bench to craft the weapon. You just found the parts, and as long as you read the book, you could put them together on the fly. So, it's never been a thing where you could just craft them at base, not even in the old update. So I don't know what he's on about you have to loot weapons. That has been a thing since the beginning. You have to loot crafting benches. Also not true. You craft crafting benches. You can get them as rewards from the traders, but you don't. And yeah, I think you can find them, but I have yet to do. I have like 300 hours in this game, and I've never looted a crafting bench. But anyway, you cannot do anything on your own without at least looting it from the dungeons. Yeah, you don't plant flour without finding the seeds. You have to go out and loot stuff. That's been the base of the game forever. Yes, it was a lot easier to stay at base in the older updates. Yes, it was actually possible to be a bit of a house hermit, but you still occasionally had to go out or have a friend that would go out. But yes, back in the older updates, I do believe you could stay at base a lot longer than you can now. And yes, it's a bit more annoying that you can't stay at base a lot as long as you could before. But still. Anyway, I don't know if I've seen this level of purposeful incompetence from a dev team. The entire purpose of 7 Days to Die is that you have 7 days to build up a base and defend it from zombies. This much is true. Also, still is true, so I guess you can increase the amount of time you have as well as decrease the amount of time you have, so still don't see the problem with this. Then it continually became harder. Also true. I will have to say though, it is annoying because Blood Moons do feel harder and easier at the same time, and they really do need to fix it to where things actually get more difficult. Like they need to ramp up quicker. And also, zombies, there shouldn't be, like, waves. Or at least there should be, but they shouldn't end. Because, like, I think once you get to, like, the late game. Yeah, late game. It kind of, like, just, after you've beaten a certain amount, they just stop spawning because they come in a certain amount of waves. That's stupid. By late game, they should not stop spawning. They should just keep coming, wave after wave. But anyway, harder every 7 days to keep the challenge up. Now you'll find an assault rifle in the first house you loot. I get that's just an overstatement, and but that's also completely false. You might find a pipe pistol or any pipe weapon, but even then, that's usually in the first 3 to 4 days if you're lucky, and that's also if you focus in that category. And even then, it's not that common. No less, they're pipe weapons. They're not that powerful. But you will have no idea how to make a crafting bench until you loot the recipe first. Oh no! A game that takes itself serious enough to not just be like, yeah, you know how to craft a table that has a saw and other materials. I'm not even going to get into it. Oh no. A game that wants you to take your time and not rush through it. Yes, I don't like everything being hidden behind a schematic, especially as they keep adding more and more books, so that it's even less likely you're going to get the thing you need. Yeah, I don't like that. But anyway, if you want to make a looter shooter, why didn't you just make one? Why did you create a zombie/survival game and then trick people into making it into a looter shooter later? Because this game fundamentally has not changed in the way you're making it out to seem. I don't know why you're saying it like that, but anyway. Oh, and okay. What a great second review. Okay, that was... I don't even want to show that. Well, there was something I wanted to say. Something about crafting. There was something about crafting. Less friendly, want to throw a base. So another thing I could think he was talking about is maybe weapons. Used to, like I said, you had to go out and find weapons, and even in the, but I think it's even more. There are certain things that are taken away, but there's also some things more attuned to players that stay at bases, because now you can actually craft weapons as long as you have weapon parts. Before, you had to have all the weapon parts. You had to have the receiver, you had to have the grip, you had to have the parts, like the, what would be technically all the internal nerdy guts. God, I need to get my, I need to, stop talking about that. You had to have the barrel and the stock and stuff like that. I would love to get a freaking scholarship in gunsmithing. That'd be pretty cool. Get to learn about gun history. That'd be nice. Might focus in that. I don't know. Anyway, I will say now you can actually craft guns at base. It is annoying that you can only craft up to level 5 though, because that, yet again, that kind of goes back to what he's saying, is that you have to go out and loot stuff. It does take away from that. I think you should be able to craft level 5 guns. And I get, maybe the fun pimps are like, oh, well that makes it too overpowered if you can craft level 6 guns, plus it takes away from going out and finding them. Yeah. How about, instead of just taking away from crafting level 6 guns, you give players the ability to craft level 6 guns, because keep in mind, in order to do that, you still would have to read 100 magazines of that one class of guns. 100. By that point, you'll already probably have a level 6 of that gun, making the crafting useless. So yeah, that's annoying. Instead, maybe by the time you have a level 100, you've read 100 magazines, you can craft level 6 guns, and maybe add special guns, right? That are just not craftable and they don't have a level, and they take special ammo or something. You know? That would be cool, right? Because in Naviscane, in the Naviscane world, there's a certain thing, the Apache Tomahawk. You can't craft it. You can't. It does have a level, but anyway, we're not going to get into that. It does have a level, so you can find 1 through 6 levels, but you can't craft it. You have to find it, and the only way to find it is in a special box of a special POI. That's it. It doesn't appear in any other POI. No, it just doesn't appear anywhere. You have to find it in that one box, in that one POI, and that's if you're lucky. They should do random POIs like that, but for guns. I'm just saying, would it not be cool, right? Like, think about it. Think about like a POI that's like a brick house, and when you go into it, it's like some kind of mafia house, or like, and as you go through it, you can find lots of zombies. It's a really difficult POI, like level 6 POI tier 6 POI, really difficult. But by the time you get into it, by the time you beat it, you get a Tommy gun, uncraftable weapon that doesn't have a level, uses 45 ACP, so it's a special ammo type that you can only unlock after getting the weapon. That would be cool. That would be amazing, and that would just add to the weapon variety. I'll say it. You'll hear this saying a lot. If there's anything games need, it's more variety, especially shooter games. Shooter games always need more gun variety. This game definitely needs more gun variety. It's annoying whenever you are like playing the game and everybody just has an M60 because it's the best gun. They should have like variety in their weapons, basically. Also, light machine guns shouldn't be in the same category of tactical rifles, which is just assault rifles, but I don't use that saying. I use tactical rifles because that's what they are. But I'll call them assault rifles for now. In the assault rifles shouldn't be in the light machine guns category, and same vice versa. Light machine guns should have their own category. But whatever. Getting off topic. So that would be cool. The Tommy gun being in its own special POI that you have to loot to get it, and you can't craft it. You have to find it. That'd be cool. And maybe like a Barrett 50 cal. Obviously, it's going to use 50 cal. And like you have to find it sitting on top of a building where there's like a sniper who is sniping someone from across the street, right? Like, so you have to go through a giant skyscraper, get to the top, and then find it at the top. That's cool. Then you have, now that's SMG category, which is also the pistol category, which is dumb. But anyway, SMG should have their own category, just saying. But also weird that pistols don't have 45 ACP for the 1911. That would also be a pretty good special gun. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Maybe add 2 special guns for the pistols, since you have SMGs and pistols in the same category. Whatever. Anyway. Barrett 50 cal for snipers. Tommy gun for SMGs or slash pistols. Or have the 19, or slash and have a 1911 with some kind of military base where you find it on a dead soldier. That'd be cool. 1911, special gun. So that covers pistols and SMGs and snipers. All right, what about shotguns, right? Let's say what would be a cool shotgun that would be really special. It would make some sense. Maybe, what would... Man, there isn't... Shotguns all kind of use, well, the same ammo, so there isn't much. I mean, you could go for like a 10 gauge shotgun, but I don't know any shotguns by name that use 10 gauge. So that one would be difficult, but maybe like just something would be cool. I'd let the fun pimps do their research into that one, but that'd be cool, right? But let's go into something I do know a little more about. Light machine guns. Oh boy, every shooter game I ever play, I use light machine guns. It's my favorite guns of all time. So anyway, let's get into it. Which is also the assault rifles category, which is so stupid. But yeah, get it. Stay on topic. MG42, that's my favorite light machine gun, so I'm going to use it as an example. Maybe you can find a museum POI, and you go through this museum POI, and by the end of the POI, you find a World War II section with an MG42 on stand. Well, Nathan, the MG42 uses 7.62 by 59, I think? It's 7.62 still, but technically a higher caliber. But it also, that was only the ones that were refurbished. Most used to, they took a different caliber. But still, that'd be pretty cool. Or maybe there's a MG42 that was remade that uses 308. It's not actually MG42. It's basically like a country seen the MG42 and was like, huh, I like that, and then they remade it in their own kind of style. It still looks like one, but it has a different name and it's chambered in 308. That's pretty cool. Like, maybe do that, you know? That way it still has the different ammo type. Bam. That's great. Then you have another special gun. But then again, if it's not an MG42, why would it be in a museum and in the World War II section? Blah, blah, blah. Well, anyway, that's just an example. Like, you get what I'm saying, though. Like, that would be cool. That would be amazing. And they should do it. I mean it. They should definitely do that. And then rifles. Because I'm going to include those because those are different from light machine guns. Rifles. What would be a cool rifle? We have the AK. We have technically an M4. Pipe machine gun, which looks more like a rifle than a machine gun, so it should still be in the rifles category, but whatever. What would be a good special kind of rifle? Ooh, wait. I take back my statement of the Barrett 50 cal. The AK-50 should be the special sniper of this game. To those who don't know what the AK-50 is, it's made by a guy called Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, great YouTuber. If you like guns, watch him. He's definitely producing better content than I am, guaranteed. Watch him if you like guns, and especially AKs. He made a literal AK chambered. Well, it's not technically an AK, but it uses the same internals as an AK, but made bigger to handle 50 cal and stuff like that. It's a lot of science. Might get my... And if you'd like to get your start in gunsmithing, go to sdi.edu. But use his link to... It's a joke. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Watch him if you like guns. But he made an AK-50. An AK chambered in 50 cal. Watch the video. It's really cool. Anyway, that would be a cool special sniper. Anyway, back to the rifles. What would be a cool rifle? Oh, man, I'm really struggling here. M1 Grand? I mean, technically that's a rifle. But then again, would you call it an upgrade from something that's full auto? You could say the bar, but the bar was also kind of the light machine gun of World War II, so you wouldn't really say it's a rifle either. That's kind of defeats the purpose. So, what would be a good rifle? Man, that is difficult. I'm saying this like I'm gonna be working on the game. I do want to become a game coder. Maybe I could work for the Fun Pimps. That would be cool. But I don't know. If I worked for the Fun Pimps, I would definitely add a lot more gun stuff to the game. That'd be fun. Anyway, just more guns. If they should allow us to craft level 6 guns and then make special guns that only spawn in certain POIs, and these POIs should be guaranteed to spawn. They should have a 100% chance to spawn, but only once. and they should spawn in cities probably. But like that's, I'm sorry, it can't be that hard to code. I'm sorry, it just can't be that hard to code to make a POI that guarantees spawns in a world. Like, I don't think that's going to be that hard to program. Anyway, God, I gotta get off this. Anyway, that'd be a cool idea. They should really act on that. Not that they're going to see this video, but if they do, that's great. And skip past that. One of the best zombie survival games. I had 7 Days to Die. Died on the first day? How is it taking these people so long to die? Are they stupid? Oh, he's... I had 7 Days to Die. Died on the first. Okay. 7 Days to Die. A game that offers exhilarating survival experience in the world where zombies are everywhere and anywhere. Once you step into this world, you'll immediately feel the joy of being surrounded by ruthless corpses craving your brains. The graphics in this game are so magnificent that you'll be amazed, as if you've been transported back to the distant year of 2009 when pixels and jagged edges were on vogue. However, fear not, because even with such charming graphics, you can always find shelter and hide from enemies in tightly pixelated bushes. Curious how realistically survival situations are portrayed in this game? Well, let's see. When you're stuck in a dilapidated building surrounded by zombies, and your stick breaks and panic and hopelessness start to engulf you, you'll be grateful in such realism because you feel just as helpless and desperate as your character. So if you want to spend your time in a game where every zombie brings our 7 days of misery and despair, as well as the endless supply of pixelated zombies, 7 Days to Die is perfect for you. Posted May 5th of when? Because the newer graphics are great. I mean, like really and truly, the new graphic. I mean, I'm not going to say they're like the best graphics in the world, but I mean, at least they do graphic updates, you know? This game, like I said, this game's been worked on for like 10 years. So, well, 11 to 13 actually. I can't remember the exact time, but still, at least they did a graphical update. At least they didn't go, well, we had a Kickstarter, we made our money back, we made a decent game, we'll call it done. Like, at least they didn't do that 5-7 years ago, because that would have been terrible. Like, at least they did an update for graphics. At least they do bug fixes. At least they put effort into their game, you know. Can't say the same thing for Minecraft, you know. They're always doing stuff, like, taking a year to add, 2 mobs? At least these people take a year and add, like, 1,000 new shapes to build with, 5-10 new POIs, and then some other miscellaneous stuff, as well as usually one thing that's, like, the biggest thing of the update. And they only take like 6 months to a year. So, yeah. Finally released after 10 years of early access. Played it first time today. Not that bad of a survival game. Thanks to devs for giving last chance to buy it for this low price. Yep. If the game's called 7 Days to Die, then why am I on day 147? I feel that. Survival craft at its best. Bears? Watch for bears. No, watch for the zombie dogs. They're the worst. I guess the zombie bears are pretty dang bad too. Game is not fun due to recommended with this performance issue, memory leaks, and poor performance issue on high-end PC. Had more fun uninstalling this game off my PC. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullcrap that you had a high-end PC, because my PC is not high-end and I run this pretty fine on high and ultra. Like, without mods, I run just fine. With mods, I can still run pretty fine, as long as it's not like over the top, which I do, but I can handle low frame rate. I'm not going to post videos with low frame rate, but I can handle low frame rate. Like, honestly, I don't see a difference between 30 and 60 FPS, so if it hits 45, I don't really care, because I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see the difference in from 30 to 60. And I only know that because one time I was playing the game and I had a thing that appeared on the left of my screen that was showing my FPS. I don't know how it appeared, but it did appear, and I could see my FPS, and I could see it go from like 60. I think it capped out at 60. I don't think it ever went above. I don't know if there's like a programmed cap or what, but either way, it capped out at 60, and then would like rarely ever did it drop to 30. But the few times that it ever dropped below 30, I could see that, but anywhere in between, I didn't notice a difference. So I don't see why a lot of people complain about not having 120 FPS and stuff like that. I guess to each their own, but yeah, no, I don't see a difference in that stuff. So also, like I said, bullcrap. No way in hell. I gotta stop saying words like that. No way your high-end PC was struggling to run this game. I have a medium. I have a medium to maybe in the in-between of medium and high-end PC, and my PC runs the game just fine, modded or not. So no, and I mean like mods that add more zombies to the world and stuff like that. No way your high-end PC is struggling that bad. Yes? Okay. Meaty bits make a fun sound. Zombies. This is my favorite game in my collection. Same. Been playing this for 10 years with a friend. Awesome game. It's just so unpolished, not worth money. I mean, there was a time, but not anymore. It's a pretty good game now. Oh. Now, this is a guy I believe has been playing for 11 years. Even though I haven't even been playing for 11 years, and I have like 300 hours, so I guess there is that. 1,650.1 hours on record. Been with this game since the beginning. I bet. And I'm still on this day enjoying every bit of it, regardless of some less than desirable changes. But alas, things come and go. This game is a high 9 out of 10 for me. Then why not recommend it? You want the game for yourself? Highly recommend you try it out. Not recommended. 9 out of 10 from me, and I highly recommend you try it out. Oh, that's great. Okay, I understand. I read you. I understand what you mean, bro. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I get that. 2018. Oh my god, that is so old. Anyway, oh my god. I'm sorry. 9 out of 10 for me. I highly recommend you try it out. Not recommended. If you're on the fence. Okay, I recommend you try it out if you're on the fence. Step away from this aging game, Minecraft, and enjoy a finer, more refined version with me, with the only limiting factor... Wait. Step away from the aging game Minecraft, that is no crap, and enjoy the finer, more refined version with the one limiting factor of this game being your imagination, as things you can do and build are endless, guaranteed thousands of hours of enjoyment. That much is true. I love that. I do, like I said, I was saying earlier, in Minecraft's case, they spend a year and add 2 mobs and a couple blocks, as well as block variants for the 2 blocks that they add. And that makes up most of the update. But this game does a year to 6 months and adds 1,000 shapes. How shapes work is basically you craft a block and then you can decide what shape it's in, as well as you can rotate the shape. So, do you understand how the building of this game can be a lot better than Minecraft? Now I get it, Minecraft's limited because they want to stay in their cubic form, which makes sense. That's how Minecraft is. But also, Minecraft has continuously denied sideways slabs. So, they also take away from creativity by doing that, as well as sideways stairs and just rotating blocks as a whole, as well as coloring blocks, paint, that was also denied. So yeah, they take away from a lot of creativity in their sandbox game. Anyway, sorry, I will say I liked Minecraft, and I still do occasionally play it, but I only play modded version, because that's the only good version anymore. I'd love to give this review a thumbs up. Oh, okay, so now we're getting... Alright. Since this game is very deserving of it. However, the community is a major part of any game, and said community in this game is very unpleasant when it comes to discussing topics. Yeah, that's about true. I'd love to give... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Anything negative, even remotely minor, even remotely minor in being, is met with extreme hostility. Yeah, that's the thing I was talking about. It's like, the people of this game just do not know how to appreciate when a game developer puts effort into a game. Like, a lot of them. They're like, man, they should have just left this game 5 years ago and made a sequel. That is not what you want. That's how you get companies like Ubisoft that makes a game that's like half decent, and then they're like, yep, call it a wrap. Make another game next year so we can make more money. Because the more money we spend on this game, the less chances there are that it's going to make a profit. So, like, the people that say that are just idiots. Hostility, which most of the time is uncalled for and unnecessary. It's kind of the same reason I'm doing this video. I am not this person. Do not think that. I wish I might one day have the amount of hours this guy has, though. I have not seen such fanatism outside of Reddit, and was genuinely surprised when attempting to share suggestions, potential changes, etc. on the Steam discussion section as well as the official website. Give it a go as an observer and browse the general discussion section for a few days and see for yourself. I find it more pleasant and enjoyable discussing politics with most hard-headed of people than dealing with the majority of people on these forums. That is true. Alright, how... Okay. Back. There we go. Sorry, I'm going full screen mode because I don't want people to see my gamer tag. Sorry. Not that I don't trust you, I don't need that kind of life, you know? A friend got this game for me. I looked at the title, looked at the screenshots, and groaned. Not another Zombicide game trying to say it's a survival game. Zombicide? Do you mean like killing all zombies because it's like in the... Are you saying zombies and Jenna... Whatever. Trying to say it's a survival game. But he got it for me, and it would be rude to not at least give it another shot. I'm rather glad I did. I can tell. I started play in a private game with my friend, set to medium difficulty. Day 1 was a mess. I figured I was playing another Left 4 Dead survival game, which was all about killing as many zombies as one humanly can before wandering to the next area. Well, after breaking a few weapons on zombies and getting no reward outside of what lint was in the zombies' pockets, I knew I was wrong. And night had begun to set in. My friend luckily had played before and warned me that things got a lot different at night, so we managed to make it through with no deaths, but many close calls. If that's not the truth, I don't know what is. This game is nothing but close calls. Alright, let's get in. 50 days in, I'm more than hooked. Survival is the key. Food, water, scavenging, repairs, and building at day. Shelter, security, and stealth at night. Actually, pretty true. Yeah, at nighttime is usually the time you're going to be working on your base. Anything in an alpha game. For crafting, dang near anything in an alpha game, from multiple layers of cobblestone walls outside of what used to be a log cabin, each piece taking the long crafting process of finding rocks, chopping them down into stone, and then turning it into cobblestone more. We built a second story of storing items, 4 storing items, more 2 layers. Yeah, this is about accurate. I'm not even going to read it all. If you want to read it all, go ahead. But yeah, I mean, that's a really good review and really true. So I don't really have anything else to read about. It's kind of just oh my god! It's been 10 years since I played this as a kid, and now I'm a married man. This game is still in alpha early access. I mean, yeah, I get them being annoyed that it's an early access, but I also don't, right? Like, what's the problem with that? Oh no, they want to take their time with it and not say, here's the full release, it's a buggy mess. Here's the full release. We don't even have all the things we said we'd have by full release, which I guess they are technically doing because they promised Raiders at full release, and now Raiders are coming in like next year, and they're marking it as a full release. But oh well. Honestly, I don't care about a game being in early access. What's the matter with that? Yeah, I think early access games are gonna have more bugs than full release games just because of like the software you have to use for that. But I don't get it. If somebody watches this video and knows what they're talking about, please explain it in the comment section. I don't get the problem with early access games. Like, what's the problem with people working and taking their time on a game? Game is like a drug. Gave up drinking to play games like this. It's darn right too much fun. And for an old fart heading to his 70s, needed something to do so my mind stays alive and doesn't fade away. So thank you, whoever created 7 Days to Die. Yeah. You know what? I guess that makes sense for the hours. No, hey. All respect. I'm full of wisdom. Son, to grandsons, it kept my grandmother up late at night on the weekends. Who says an old lady doesn't have anything in common with their younger people? I love it. Oh, this is an old lady. That's nice. That's great. I'm happy for them. It is funny though. This is actually how I got my friends into the game. Whenever I had seen the game because of Markiplier. No need to even explain who he is. I'm sure most of you watching this will probably know. Which most of you, I mean, the one, maybe two people that do. Anyway, I got into this because I seen it on YouTube, and then I seen it on Markiplier. I was thinking, oh, I want that game. And one year, I actually got a PC for Christmas, and this is the first game I bought. First game I downloaded and bought. There's a lot of games on PC I had seen that I wanted, but I didn't have a PC to get it, because most of my... let's just say we weren't, like, had the most money. I didn't have the most money growing up, but still. The first time, whenever I got this PC, immediately, the first game I bought and downloaded and played. But also before that, though, whenever I had seen it, I looked it up on console. And that's whenever, like I said, I played the console version, which is a lot older. But it was still fun. So whenever I found it, and I actually still liked it, even though it was an older update, as much as I wanted to play the new update, but couldn't, which, by the way, this is like 5-ish, maybe 4. Yeah, 4 or 5. 3, 4, or 5. I'm not going to go, I don't know the exact date. But either way, I found this, and I was thinking, ooh, this is a fun game. I showed it to my friend. I bought it for my friend. And then he liked it, but once we got he was usually busy, so I wasn't able to really play with him that much. My friend, which is also my brother, Jimmy. Well, you'll hear about him. He'll probably appear in certain episodes and stuff like that. He actually did appear in a other episode, but that was a unlisted video that might see the light of day one day whenever I retire, which I don't know when that'll happen. I hope never. I really want to keep doing this forever, even if I don't ever get popular. I still want to do this. I want to make somebody's day, you know. Anyway, I seen this, bought it on Xbox, showed it to my brother Jimmy. He liked it, but we never had much time to play it. And by the time that we only got so much, and eventually we did beat it and everything, and just kind of had a blast and stopped playing it. But then I showed it to my dad, and oh boy, did my dad play the crap out of it. Like, I kid you not, so many late nights whenever I'd go over to my dad's house, we'd play this game. We'd stay up super late till like 3 o'clock in the morning. He'd get off work and we'd start playing this game. We would come up with the wildest ideas. Eventually, we just got so good at the game, once we got late game, we'd just start making cool, like, base ideas. One was like a bunker on a hill, kind of like D-Day, you know? Another one, we would do, like a shark cage in a city. Another one, we did just a defensive area in between, like in an alleyway. We did a lot of things with this game. We played a lot, and we had so much fun. It's a great game. Like I said, I would recommend. At least watch it on YouTube. Markiplier hasn't done a video on it, so if you're hoping in a while, so you're not going to see the newest update if you watch his video, but still. God, allergies are hurting my throat so bad. That's why I've kind of been taking off. That's why I haven't done a video in a while, is because first off, we haven't really gotten any views. Again, not because I want to do YouTube for views. I do just want to make people happy. But also because I just had other things going on. Having, part of being a human is having more than just a console to be on. I've also been doing other fun things that I just can't record because I do it on console and I can't record that. So, anyway, not that I think anybody's really going to see this video or anything like that. But gotta stop getting off topic. I showed it to my dad. We loved it. We played hours upon hours, and even days whenever I wasn't there, I'd see him on it. And like even to this day, he still plays it every now and then. Whenever I told him about coming on console, although he doesn't like to act excited, I can tell he's excited. And honestly, I am too. So can't wait for us to be able to play the newest update, the version I wanted us to play together a long time ago. Me and a whole group of friends. So. Minecraft was too boring for me. I'm not a creator for creation's sake. Terraria was fun. I enjoyed the additional combat focus. DayZ didn't have it for me. I didn't like the lack of building, at least when I played it. Ark was fun. Dinos. But stale, there was no forced conflict, no reason to explore, no reason to keep building, so it fell into the Minecraft trap. Yeah. It's just kind of... Alright. God. Oh my god! What? How do you have 12? Did I just say God? Oh my god. Anyway, 12,000 hours. 12,000. 1 second. I gotta be right back. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I had to get my phone. Oh, okay, 1 second. Calculator app. Let's see here. How many hours? 12,082 divided by 24. That he has played this game for what would be the equivalent of day and night, never sleeping, never leaving the computer. 503 days in a row. Oh my god! How? Oh my god, I'm probably peeking my mic, but how? How do you do that? Oh my god! It helps me keep my mind from being depressed too much. 2022. Oh my god. I'm waiting for the day I find one with 1 million hours. Or like 100,000. Surprisingly, a lot of these reviews are actually pretty good. Like, you really don't like the first, like that one review the first one of this section. You don't really find that often. Oh, here's a negative. It's one of my favorite games of all time, yet I cannot recommend it, and it pains me. Like many others, I think that the latest update, Alpha 17. Oh my God, 2019. That's old. Alpha 17 was a huge step in the wrong direction. Instead of being a zombie survival game, the awesome building mechanics where you can build a huge and massive base, suddenly became a zombie killing grind fest where bases doesn't matter because zombies chew through concrete like it was nothing. Yeah, that's the thing I was gonna say earlier about like the base thing. Zombies are just too strong. They do a lot of damage and give status effects, and like they'll do it like they punch you once and they give you like 10 different status effects, which is just stupid and annoying. Or maybe just twice and they'll give you 10, but still, like, it's super annoying. Even whenever you have armor, they do that crap, and it's stupid. But also, yeah, they break through blocks way too quickly. But also, if you really want to fix that, just lower their block damage. I think that's what I'm going to start doing, so that way we can actually kind of have a base and not be like... But yeah, like, usually you don't spin the Blood Moon in your base unless you're going to be, like, total hardcore player style and know the exact strat for a perfect Blood Moon base, but... Usually you don't want to do a Blood Moon in your base because they'll just tear it up so bad. Before you could actually defend your base in the old updates. Now you really can't, which is dumb. They need to fix that. But in the meantime, just lower their block damage, I'd recommend, if you want to have like an actual base. Anyway. Also, I don't get me starting on the zombie... also, don't get me started on the zombie AI. It was fine in Alpha 16 and zombies acted as you would expect. Dumb. In Alpha 17, the pathing of the AI is just ridiculous. Where the zombies were able to estimate the path of least resistance as if they were not only sapient but extremely intelligent. This has led to the current base building meta, mazes and ramps / facepalm. The skill system was utterly destroyed as well in Alpha 16. You can improve cardio by running. Okay, yeah, so this is Alpha 17, or Alpha 16, I'm guessing, must have been the Xbox update around about, because these were also things in Xbox, but still, anyway. True, but also you gotta understand something, right? So used to it was learned by doing instead of learned by reading and stuff like that, or learned by putting points into it. Here's the thing, though. How do I learn to craft better armor by getting hit? How do I learn to make a better club by punching grass? Or not punching grass, but hitting grass with a club. How does that teach me to make a better club? Do I think they should have done a bit of a mixture of both? Yes, but honestly, I prefer the skill point system now. Having to see countless amount of skills, each one having to max up to 100, and I get like 5 skill points per level up, but each level up just gets like really hard to ever get, and that's the Blood Moon. It's kind of annoying. Really, and just not fun. So I like the new learn, but maybe that's just not for everyone. I can get some people like the old system better. So that's kind of like subjective. Anyway. Improve mining efficiency, well, by mining. So on and so forth. Now you just kill zombies, gain XP, get perk points, then spend said perk points. To be fair, they have buffed XP gain from other activities recently, but still simply gain and spend perk points. Yet another horrible downgrade. Not really... But, okay, let's can I open it? There we go. Alright. Honestly, I prefer a new one better, but still. Also, let's talk about the loot. In Alpha 16, you could loot items ranging from quality 1 to 600. Weapons and certain tools had components for individual quality that you could then combine to form said weapon/tool that would have an average quality level of said parts. The quality would determine the damage/durability of the weapon, etc. This system was great and gave an Why am I struggling to read this? Or not even read it. I'm struggling to say it. In sentiment. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Man, I'm gonna make myself look like an idiot on the internet. Then again, what's new? Anyway, it gives you a reason to go out in the world and continue to loot, even if you had, say, an AK-47, because you could improve it vastly by finding better parts. That this has been replaced by a system where all weapons/tools are looted whole in a quality system ranging from 1 to 6. Not true. You still found parts. I know that for a fact, that in this update you still found weapon parts. You also had to craft them to levels 1 through 6, but you could also, yes, find them. Minimal difference in damage/durability, but hey, at least you could attach mods to the weapons now. I do agree, that's a big improvement. The amount of mods you can attach are determined by the level of the item. You can improve the damage of your rifle by painting it another color. Great. Really? I don't remember that being a thing. Then again, I didn't play that update. I think I started playing 18, maybe 19. But still. The performance of the game, all the new textures and lighting of Alpha 17 has brought so many performance issues, and yet again, it used to be just fine in Alpha 16. Don't bother mentioning it to the devs, they'll just give you a douchey response about your rig being a potato, even though they're running on high-end parts. In conclusive, no, I would not recommend the game. However, you can opt in for playing Alpha 16, which I would recommend, if you can accept that the game might never evolve any further. Alright, so there's a couple things about this. I already talked about like the weapons. I like the better down-to-earth 1 through 6 because it's... Yes, I get not going out to find parts is annoying, but now you can at least have mods. Which, yes, you probably could have done both, but it kind of take away from weapon variety. Because, think about it. If you had to find SMG part, pistol part level 2, 4.4 Magnum part, revolver part, light machine gun part, AR part... And keep in mind, each part has like 6 parts to make the one gun. So whenever I say part, there's technically 6 parts, but whatever. So imagine having to find all of that. Like, that would be so weird to have to increase. No less, like, it would just be more annoying than anything. So that takes away from weapon variety, having that. Plus, mods would be weird to mod on a gun if the parts, whatever. Anyway, yeah, you could have probably done it, but honestly, I prefer the new one. 1 through 6, I think, is better because... Yeah, level 1 through 600 made it to where like you could gradually increase instead of going, oh yeah, level 2, much better upgrade. Well, level 1 through 600 was like, oh yeah, level 10, level 20, not much of an increase, but it's an increase. Was a bit more in depth, but honestly, I don't mind being just a little quicker because it's a little goofy. Lighting and stuff like that, yeah, that was probably bad. I can't say, but it has been fixed, so. Douchey response though, that one is true. One thing I don't like is there was this response. People were like making recommendations to the game. Like I like to make recommendations all the time because I think some of these ideas would vastly improve the game. Well, they just straight up said to the fan base, we're gonna let our dev team decide what they want to add to the game. That is not how you market a game, because there is countless people who believe that you should listen to community feedback. Whenever people recommend certain things, you should maybe be like, huh, that's really cool. I like that idea. I'm going to do that. You know what? That's a good idea. We might add that. You don't go, yeah, no, we're not going to listen to you. We're going to let our dev team decide. That is a good way to lose a lot of players. A good way. Oh, you want to lose players. You say stuff like that, you'll do it. You'll lose all of them. That is the stupidest response ever, and the most arrogant response ever by a game developer. Ever. Just like, period. End of story. Saying stuff like that is how you end a game. Because it's stupid. Also, I mean, I was going to go somewhere with this. Well, alright, yeah. How are you going to say? Keep in mind, 7 Days to Die has zero advertising. They do not have ads. They do not sponsor people. They have done nothing to promote their game. How do they expect to make money if the few people that do own their game, which I guess few could be relative, technically there's probably thousands of people that own this game, but either way, the people that do own this game, how do you expect for more people to buy your game? Keep in mind, that's the whole thing of a game, is you have to have people buy it or else you don't make money. And I get, maybe this is just a passion project, so there is that, so maybe you don't care about money. But if you really want to make money back on this game, one way you don't is by telling your fan base to screw off. Because keep in mind, the people that play this game are going to be the person, like I was, who showed my friend and my dad. Keep in mind, the people that play this game are the people that show it. So whenever you say, screw you fan base, we're not going to listen to your ideas, we believe we are the only ones who know what's right, and anything you say is stupid. Well, guess what? Every fan that buys your game is now going to be like, hey guys, this game sucks because blah 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 reason, don't buy it. And then all your fans, the only marketing you have of your game, well, now they're going to start talking about how bad it is to anybody that asks. Like, for instance, if, say, somebody is sitting on a couch playing this game in the living room, and a friend walks in or a family member walks in, and they're like, hey, this looks like a pretty cool game. What is it called? And it's like, nah, it's mid. It's not really that good. I wouldn't recommend buying it. It's pretty trash, honestly. The developers suck. Like, because you left a bad taste in their mouth, that's how they're going to be about the game. They're going to talk bad about it, and now anybody who thought about buying it is going to be like, oh, dang, that sucks. Yeah, no, I'm not buying that game. So, yeah, it's a really bad way to market, is by relying on your fan base and then telling your fan base to screw off. So, yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, with the douchey remark thing. That is 100% true, and the Fun Pimps need to get off that high horse. That you don't make a game and then not listen to your fan base, unless you're going to make it and then ship it and call it done. That is it. You don't make a game, spend years developing on it, while it's public view, and then be like, yep, nope, you don't get to see it anymore. Or, yep, nope, we're not going to listen to you anymore. We make the game, not you. That is not how you make a good game. Which is why, actually, a big reason why I want to become a game developer. That's one thing I'm going to college for eventually. I want to go become game developer so I can make my own game. I'm probably, if this succeeds, I'm probably going to make stuff like, shooter games, survival games, and fighter games is probably going to be what is probably going to be like the classic games I make. Maybe all three, That'd be stupid. Anyway, and I'll tell you what, the number one thing about my game company, if it succeeds, is I'm just going to listen to my fan base. That's going to be the biggest thing of it. Like, people say, hey, you should add an A10 Warthog. I'm going to be like, alright. Yeah, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. I'm going to add that. Like, obviously, I wouldn't listen to every wild idea, but, like, ones that make sense, yeah, I'd probably listen to it. Oh, back to this Fun Pimps. Stop getting off track about the future. Let's worry about the now. I can understand when a game company has a vision for a game. That's fine. But you also have to let that vision allow other people in. Allow other ideas in. Especially when that vision is one that you're sharing. That other people have to exist in. You have to make it attuned for the other people that you have in that vision. See, if you make a vision of the future, you have to keep in mind the people that are in that future and what they're going to want as well. You can't just be... Yes, so if you want a main story of the game, that's fine. You don't have to listen to what every person's going to say about the story of the game. Make the story how you want it. Yes, if you want certain things to be harder, go ahead. But if a person says, add more guns, add more guns! I'm just saying. But I think we're going to leave it off there. We talked a lot. This is probably a 30-minute, maybe even an hour video. I gotta stop making such long videos. Nobody watches these kind of videos like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you like 7 Days to Die, look it up first. Watch some content. I'll try to release some content, but whenever I did an episode a couple of days ago, it was really laggy. It wasn't laggy for me, but the video recording was. I don't know why. Maybe I'll just use a regular screen recorder, and see if that'll work better than than my regular recording software. Maybe that'll work better, but that'll be a thing for the future. I'll try to make content regularly, but I can't guarantee that because it's the beginning. It's also it's summer, so I'll have more free time at the same time as having less free time. So, because, not getting into detail, I'll try to make videos every now and then. if you like my videos, subscribe. If you don't, there's tons of other YouTubers like Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, people like them who actually deserve subscribers compared to me. So, go subscribe to them if you prefer it. You'll watch their content. But if you like this content, if you like some of my videos, I'll try to keep releasing videos and stuff like that. Hopefully I make somebody's day. Hopefully, maybe 7 Days to Die will see this video and take some of these ideas. Dear God, I would love nothing more but for them to add an MG42 to the game. MG42 is my favorite gun of all time. Just saying. Game developers, add MG42 to every gun game ever. I don't care if it's World War I. Add the MG4. I'm just kidding. MG42. Love it. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for tuning into today's video. Or, I guess,